Hi, thanks so much for asking for me to send you this information about the mini movies method and how we have raised 350,000 in crowdfunding over the last sort of 12, 13 months. So this that you're seeing now must look a bit scary. This is the view of the business manager or the ads manager in Facebook. And I just set the sort of time up here to be the maximum, just so I can quickly see the types of campaigns that I've got which have generated the most leads. So what I'm gonna show you here is one campaign which generated 4,280 leads, because what we do is we send a short film out, across the internet to people in Britain, a short documentary, and I'm going to show you the short. And it's an advert, and it has a lead gen form on it, and each day we get people signing up as an email lead for somewhere between 80p up to about £2, and each lead that we get eventually translates as between £10 to £20. So we know that we can afford to pay that much for those leads. But it does take people some time to convert into money very often. So sometimes, we also have to think about how we deal with that as a problem. But I'm not going to get ahead of myself. I'm going to first of all just show you how this works. So um, this is the advert. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just click on edit. I see this. Why am I in this mode? Hold on. Share Facebook post with comments. So first of all, what you're going to see is what it looks like on Facebook, and I'm going to show you just what that ad looks like. So I tell a story, and I kind of in my mini movies book, I always talk about how I want to sort of create a manifesto type of story. So it's talking about like why we're doing what we're doing from a kind of political, almost like a spiritual quest, really. It seems like no time since my partner Hillary and me had the crazy idea of turning our street into a renewable power station. We just got tired of waiting for the government to take action. We felt they weren't taking the future of the planet seriously. We saw too the energy markets had gone crazy, and in fact, the charity Energy Action predicts 50% of the UK population will be in fuel poverty by the end of the year. So I think that's what caused us to say to ourselves, if not us, then who, and if not now, then when. So we decided we would set up. So I'm giving a really good context for the story of why we're doing what we're doing, and like this is our kind of slogan: every building should be a power station. Let's get a zero carbon street. Then I make them an offer, right? So it says we have set up a free membership where you can find out how we can get together and slash the price of renewable energy without complex business models or paperwork, how we can make great art that can change the world while retaining poetry, wonder, and joy. So this is all this cool stuff that they're going to get. 15 minutes of our recent documentary Bank Job for free, which was nominated for a Grierson. So I'm not going to give them everything. Then I sign it, but from me and from my partner Hillary. I don't put a date on it because, again, that will just make it feel old. I put a link into a landing page. You don't have to do that because you can gather the leads right here in Messenger, but I'll show you what that landing page looks like very briefly. It doesn't really have to have that much on it, actually. Mine has probably got too much because remember that if they click on it, they will have possibly watched the ad. They certainly will have read that. It just reiterates what they're going to get and gives them a big sign up button. I do go through here for people who need a little bit more sort of convincing, and I give them some testimonials as well, which right at the bottom. So they get a good sense of what's going on. Then they go on the email sequence, and the email sequence is below in this in the PDF that I will have sent you. So I hope that will be useful. Then you see, we're not always running crowdfunders. In fact, we ran 3 over 12 months. Each one took about a month. Actually, the last one did take a bit longer. It took probably 2 or 3 months. But most of the time, we're trying to get people to join in a paid membership. So you'll see that in the email sequence. But all we do is, if we're running a crowdfunder, is instead of trying to get them to join the membership and pay money for that, we'll just send them to the crowdfunder, and we'll be always sending emails which have an emotional hook as to why we do what we're doing. So you can also see that people can just sign right up can sign up there in, directly in Facebook. It's a Facebook lead ad. You can see that there's lots of comments, shares, etc. And this is what, you're gaining a big warm audience here of people that are commenting and sharing, and it's really, really cool. Okay. We also, another thing that I should point out is that we use short films, and that's our main thing. And that, like, these go into various different placements on Instagram and Facebook. So some of them will be like 16:9 across like that. Some of them will be 9:16, for instance, Instagram. And then some of them should be more or less 4:3, which is this. You can see that Facebook itself has cut this off and given it some black things, so it's not perfect. It doesn't have to be. The main thing is the story, the enthusiasm, and the energy. Then what we do from there is that we'll probably, that's called the top of the funnel. You see TOF, top of the funnel, which means that we've never spoken to these people before. We're imagining that these people don't know anything about us. Then we retarget the people who've watched 25% or more of that with the middle of the funnel, right? So middle of the funnel is something where, we know that they already know us and that we're just trying to keep them warm. So, for instance, middle of the funnel is where you reminding them that you exist, and that type of thing. So really, so that's pretty cool. And I would say bottom of the funnel is where they've been on, maybe, and we can track this if they've been on a sales page or they've been considering joining something. We put them at the bottom of the funnel for that as well. So we can tag them in Facebook and Instagram based on their actions on those videos, and then whether they click on the link and that type of thing. And I think obviously at that point they go onto an email sequence if they've joined the mailing list, and they get sent a sequence of 5 emails which were pre-written, and you've got access to those, so hopefully that's of use. But I also think it's still worth, sending them more content on Instagram and Facebook as well, because not everyone reads their emails. So why not do both? So what we really want is visibility. If we're going to sell our stuff, if we're going to fill our crowdfunders with cash, we need visibility. So anyway, let me just go back to that, this one here where we sold where we made the 4,559 leads at £1.51 each. You can see we spent £6,000 on that. Okay, so I'm just going to show you that as a short film, because I feel like that's kind of important. In order to do that, I'm just going to have to switch my recording device over to a different screen recording, because this one won't pick it up. Are you frightened up there?
Yeah, I really am.
Power to the people. The couple taking fundraising to new heights to bring solar energy to their streets.
Put them flat on the ground and tie them, and then when the wind stops we can put them back up. No street in Britain yet has gone fully onto renewable energy.
Yes,
Other street having a conversation. Should we do this? Look, this whole street has done it.
If you look up at the roof, Dan is still up there.
Do you think you can do this?
Yeah.
The financial and ecological crises are intertwined.
It's not an even kill. People work and people are poor people such as myself, and we're struggling.
Does that worry you at the moment, like the volatility of the prices of energy?
It worries me if it's going to go up to, the percentage that they're saying it is.
50% gas and electric's going up?
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to struggle anyway.
If I sit down, your legs are freezing. I used to be putting on kettle and having showers empty, but now I sit in there, make sure I'm really well clothed, and with one heater on, because I'm spending £90 a week on electric. And I'm on my own, and it's crazy.
We had this idea that we'll act like the government, create our own stimulus, our own Green New Deal.
The reality is if the government was to get every home in this country, turn it into a power station, then the cost of that would be paid for by the sun itself within about a 10-year period. It's just absurd that that's not happening, so why don't we make it happen? We hit the street then?
Yes.
Good luck.
We're going to knock on some doors. We'd like as many people as possible to put these posters up.
We believe we can become a zero carbon street. We're going to raise the money to offer everyone, no strings attached, free solar energy. We're going to sell art, and then with the proceeds we'll buy all the solar panels.
What kind of qualifications have you got to be doing this then?
Fuck you.
We used to run our own artist bank up the road. We sold banknotes and bought up and then blew up 1.2 million of high interest debt. So now it's like a political campaign, like this is what the government should be doing. And we're seeing ourselves as putting a Green New Deal stimulus into the street.
Dear neighbour, we're now moving to putting panels on the first 20 houses on the street. You would have thought on a street of 134 houses, 20 houses would not be an issue. Oh my. You, because of the money, are trying to put the brakes on. The point was we wanted to do the whole street, but yeah, financially we've got a bigger challenge ahead.
You've got all these amazing ideas, and I'm like, where's the money? You know, because we don't have enough yet.
I know, but we will.
Let me take you back to pre the crisis, let's say October 21, energy bills were normal. As a country, we imported £50 billion worth of fossil fuels every year just to burn them. For 2 years of that budget, we could build enough wind and solar projects to make ourselves 100% powered by renewable energies. Just 2 years of that budget. It shows you how foolish this path is to have single-use energy underpin our economies.
Just reached the first level.
If you happen to be taking a stroll down Lynmouth Road in Walthamstow, you may be in for quite a surprise if you look up there, because you might find Dan Edelstein and Hilary Powell bedding down for the night.
We're staying on the roof until we raise enough money to get our power station built. Okay, good night.
We'll sleep up here every night until we've raised enough money. It'll be certainly a cold experience.
Yeah.
But it's not only our street, it's also going to help rapidly decarbonise other people's neighbourhoods. We are working with Solar for Schools to get all our schools in Waltham Forest generating their own energy so they can save money and reduce their carbon emissions too.
It's about the growing awakening. We're seeing all around us that we can have the power to make change.
I'm on my way to the local Tesco. There's power stations in the Observer magazine. Oh my God, wow.
We need to pull together and stand up to these bigger companies.
Power means everything.
Government has a responsibility. We've got to make sure we wake them up.
When we involve people and we take the time to think about how do people participate in the climate crisis, that is how transformation happens.
You end up transforming the way people think about their energy and transforming the way they think about owning the infrastructure around them.
Oh, I got it! And just before Christmas, £100,000 was raised, which allows them to move to the next phase of the project.
Who knows? Everybody in Waltham Forest, everyone in the UK might end up with solar panels. It would be so amazing.
I'd love to be a part, even if that's a small part, in creating some change.
Working together in collective action, we could all make a difference and be powerful.
And change the way Britain powers itself and the way the British understand power itself. Thanks so much for watching this short video about our power station. If you would like to find out our master plan about how we plan to get street-by-street approach to renewable energy right the way across Britain, and how we basically wean ourselves off fossil fuels as quickly as possible, make it fairer for people, then I would click right now to do that. We're a very small community interest company. You probably will never see another video from us, and it may well have to be taken down soon, depending on how expensive Facebook is, or Instagram, wherever you're viewing this. So please do click along, and you'll get loads of really cool stuff for free. And if you don't like it, you can always unsubscribe. But our aim is to try and spread all the things that we've learned around renewable energy, around how we can solve the climate crisis and not be all depressed about everything, how we can take back power into our own hands as communities. So do click along now, and you will get all of that information absolutely for free, nothing to lose. Hopefully see you on the other side. Cheers. What am I doing? Okay. There I am. Okay, yeah. So, my point there. Okay, so this is just to wrap it up. Did you see at the end there was that call to action? That's a really important part of the whole thing. You need to be able to try and move your ideal clients a step closer each time, ideally. So for me there, I'm trying to get them to become a lead. However, most people won't become a lead. So then we have to work out, well, how do we follow up with those people? Because otherwise we're losing lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of potential supporters for our projects. So that is where the retargeting stack comes in. we move them into an ecosystem of more cool stuff, and that's really the next important thing. And that really helps. So the emails go out to the people who have signed up, and that is quite a major step to sign up to a mailing list. Many people don't want to do it, but we also need to think about, well, how are we going to keep speaking to people across Facebook and Instagram, or YouTube if we're using YouTube as well? How do we keep talking to these people and really build up the trust over time, like over a month, over 2 months, over 3 months? How do we keep it sustainable? How do we keep talking? So that is the next step. So I really hope this has been useful to you. This is a little kind of training that I've just done, and I hope that you'll find the emails. None of it is rocket science. It's about building relationships and actually delivering genuine value to people over time in everything, not only in our communications, but in our products and our services and everything else. There is no trick. I suppose if there is a trick, in fact, the trick is to just do the work, and to be and to keep at it. All right, I hope that was useful. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.